Hey, I had to give you that, baby. That's my man, John Pierce. Yes, indeed. You are on what? You on the ASADAH Says podcast, baby. And I love that we got so much good energy coming today. My girl, Julie Stanton, is going to be in the place to be. That's my homie, yo. I just can't wait to laugh with her. I think I'm going to experience that the most today. But before we do any of that, we are going to do something that, what? Got to give props to the female solution. Why? Because that's why I'm here. Like, that's the reality. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these intro messages of learning what the female solution is. Peace. Thanks, Naima.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
Okay, so if you don't know, this month of August, I have been focusing on Get It Black Travelers, because there are some Black folks, some good old brothers and sisters that travel the world and don't think nothing of it. And maybe they do. But we're going to find out, because today we're talking to my girl, Julie Stanton. I'm bringing her on the screen. Hey, mama.
I'm on the screen.
Yo, you guys, Julie Stanton is an absolute phenom to me. I don't even think she overstands the presence she's had in my personal life. Like, just for making me go, like, really? Like, I'm talking about when nobody had cell phones. She was talking about, girl, a cell phone is an accessory. And she had like all kind of covers, not the covers, you know. I'm talking about, they were like a little step from flip phones. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And it
the
was
Nokias,
like, Nokia, right?
Yeah.
She had a leopard color, and she had it was the best. So anyway, Julie, thank you for being here today, my darling. Man, you really inspire me in so many ways. But today we're gonna talk about how you roll when you travel, because you don't travel like people travel. You do it different, right? And so I guess first I could ask you a myriad of questions, but I first want to ask, when did all this traveling excursion start, and how, when, and how?
Okay, that's a good question. And forgive me, because I'm going to be constantly doing curl placement in this camera. This humidity and this hair is not going together. So
we love it.
But anyway, thank you for having me, ASADAH.
1,000%.
Just thank you. You know what? I think it comes. So I have two schools of thought of where it comes from. So one, my mom, who never took me on an international trip, but when we did go places, we would hit the ground running. And her whole thing was, you swim in the morning, and you go to the parks and museum, like you just did it all. And then she said you can sleep when you get home. So the whole concept of me not being a vacationer, like, we're on vacation. No, we're on a trip. You can sleep when you get home. So that comes from that. But I remember, and then the other thing was, I learned this very early. When I was in the 6th grade, my mom and dad sent me on I went with the French American snow class to go skiing. Now this is like in the 1970 something, right? And we went for a month. We stayed in the French Alps. There was a student from Chicago, a student from like a suburb of Chicago. Then it would be a student from Paris, and then a student from the suburb of Paris. We all stayed in a villa. A teacher came with us. We were from different schools. And, before going, we learned about the cultural relevance and how to speak a little French, blah, blah, blah. What were the social norms, like all of those things. And then we were there for 1 month, and we were in Mont Blanc. which, by the way, I had a chance to go back to that area this summer for a wedding. So that was a full circle moment for me. But and we were gone for a month, and you had to write letters. So everything I'm talking about is obviously pre internet and
Yes.
all of the stuff. So really people teaching you like the cultural norms and all of that. But what I found is I was not homesick. So
Mm,
many of my friends were homesick. I was not homesick. I was not a person. I actually ended up putting me in the hospital, said I had appendicitis, which I did not allow them to do. My mother hadn't signed something. I wasn't going for it, And so but I still didn't want to go home. I still wasn't crying to go home. So I
okay.
think I just learned like about myself that, oh, I really like going places. I really like adventure. I like to, in the words of, I like to get in where I fit in. I'm sort of, that type of person. And then, okay, so times passed. That's sixth grade, seventh grade. I, when I was right after I graduated from college, I worked with this woman, but we were young, we were co-eds or just out of college, but her father lived in Greece, and another one of our co-worker friends, most people I work with I end up being friends with, and the people I
Okay.
travel with I end up being
That's
friends with.
true. That's
Those are my
true.
favorite friends, my work friends and my travel friends. They
That's
come
right.
from one of those two places. My
Okay.
lifelong friends.
Yeah.
But we went to Greece. Her dad lived there, and we went island hopping. And this is like in the late 80s or
Okay.
early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And
Mhm.
we traveled for a month and on the Greek islands, right? Like backpacking, so
Mhm.
that's where I got the concept of backpacking. Like you didn't pre-book anything. We weren't in some fancy hotel. We were,
Mhm.
young, dancing on tables and having a good time. I mean, it was fun. I met friends there. These other two Canadian girls, we all traveled together. It was when the Olympics, the Dream Team Olympics were in Barcelona. So I don't know what year. I think
Okay.
that was like 92. But
Okay.
what happened was my luggage, I think I found a ticket for like $100 to
Wow.
Greece. We had to go through Romania where they had cats and dogs on the plane, and they were serving us the same food over and over.
Okay.
Just like the cats were out, cockpit doors open, and they were smoking and drinking. That's what I was on. And the seats were like lawn chairs. And what was so funny is that one of my friends, one of the young girls who's a woman now, she had never flown before, and I was
Okay.
like, "This is not a normal flight, like this." But you
Okay.
don't want to alert anybody who's never flown it. We sitting in park chairs and
Yeah, yeah,
with a
yeah, yeah.
cover. You don't want to. But anyway, my luggage ends up being lost for the
Okay.
entire month.
Hmm.
And the one phrase I say I knew in Greek is that's what you get for flying Romanian Air. Every time I come back to the airport, I didn't have it. So it made me I'm not gonna like be beholden to I'm not gonna be beholden to the trip. Like we extended our stay in Athens because we were trying to go
Mhm.
island hopping.
Mhm.
But I can't keep going to the airport and holding up the trip waiting on this luggage that didn't come forever. Like so we went on. So I had to a reason to shop. I had to shop. I had to do this. I had to figure it out, and get going and get a backpack.
Yeah.
You just have to keep it moving. So, yeah. So I learned to travel
Yeah.
independently. The only thing I had was a ticket going and a ticket coming home, and we decided where to go and where we were going to go. We took ferries. We
Okay.
took buses and stuff like that. So that taught
Okay.
me how to travel independently,
Okay.
without some sort of
Okay.
tour, without all the luggage. And I still, although I require a few more amenities. Like I can't be on a long flight without a good seat anymore. But
Okay.
I still, use that muscle of Like I just went to Stockholm to see Bad Bunny. I'm obsessed with Bad Bunny.
Okay.
But I only bought a one-way ticket. And
Look
so
at
I
that.
bought a yeah. So I still stretch myself to see how I want to route home. Now, in
Okay.
buying a one-way ticket, and I know I got to come back home. I mean, I obviously had points. You know, like I wasn't paying and paid cash to come home, but I'd already had designated points for how I was going to get home. I just didn't know the way I was going to get home. You know, like what route I wanted to
Okay.
take home. So those
Okay.
are my three little travel starters. Now I don't have on my
Now let me
glasses, so
say
I can't
something to
really
you.
see.
No, you good. You can put on your glass if you want. You don't need them, child. We talking. Let me tell y'all what is so impressive. So the thing that I think holds people back from even traveling is fear. And the fear of what they don't know, not having certain skills, whatever it is. But I don't know many
Not knowing the
people that,
language.
girl, not knowing the language, right? Or who buys a one-way ticket to another country? Like, I'm just saying that right there, just in terms of courage and even
Mm-hmm.
self-esteem and just
Yeah.
being adept to life. I
Yeah.
love that. And I need you that are watching to just key into the
Yeah.
sort of, I love the word insouciance. People don't
Oh,
know that word.
insouciance.
Yeah,
Go on, give us.
insouciance.
Tell us.
Yes, insouciance means in a playful manner, in a nonchalant manner. So when you do things with insouciance, you buy a one-way ticket to somewhere you don't know. Or instead of going, oh my God, I'm so serious. I can't. That's the opposite of insouciance, being so serious. But
Yeah.
I love that you had that. I love your mother's philosophy. I had
Yeah.
the opportunity to experience sort of her sort of candor and excellence around traveling. And what's up with the traveling with students? Because that's
Yes.
how we know each other well. You don't you told us about the solo travel, but why you're different than most to me is that you take the kids traveling, and that I know from just being a teenager, and we had EF tours and take you to Europe and all of that. But what about, no, y'all just was taking kids from the south or the west side to the to communities. So let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that. We can even talk about our experience, child.
I
But when
think
did
we
that?
should.
Yeah, we should. But when did that start for you? Taking the kids and to somewhere, and where'd you take them first? Do you remember that?
Okay, so I'll start. I'll just talk about. I'll talk about international and national travel with students.
Okay,
One, it is my belief that people the children learn from experiences, like
that's right.
experiential learning, right?
That's
That
right.
is like, as an educator,
That's right.
I think that my real thing around knowing geography and cultures is from placing myself in those things, and then that like makes me have more curiosity. Okay, so
Hmm.
but so the going places, like, and this is so some things are coming from my mom, because I didn't have the foresight on why places, right?
Yeah.
So, like by 12 I've been in Europe. I've been some places, that my mom prioritized sending. I don't know if my dad was always on board. I hope he never sees this, because he takes credit as if he was. But she just really believed in that you should have things to talk about.
Okay.
And that she always believed that things could be made happen. So she's just a believer in taking students on college tours and
Yeah.
all of those things. So, like, just the whole college tour movement and doing it themselves, and
Hmm.
going in the kitchen and cooking with the people at the restaurant to help me. She was that kind of person. The
Yeah.
the concept of West Africa and going to Senegal. There was a tour that they did through Olive Harvey College.
Yeah.
And Asada, you weren't on the first trip, right?
Yeah. 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 Right.
Okay. So, this is when I took Jolene and them. This is when I did my trip around the world, and I took them first to Europe. These are some of her. All the girls are her college friends and her cousin, and the young men are on a military base. And I was sort of the adult in charge. So
But wait, Julie, before you go on, please help me. The person that's in the back in the brown, that looks like a head wrap, but it's not. I thought that was me, and I was like, "Where is this?" I was
no,
like, "What is this?" But that's a person. There's something on their head.
yeah, that's a
I was like,
person.
"Why are you right there?" But yeah,
That's in Brindisi at a U.S. military base. I think
okay,
I was in my 20s, my
okay. I
mid
see you in
20s.
the front. I see you.
Jeline and her and my cousin and I mean there's some real heavy hitters in here. There's some doctors and some
Wow.
there's some
Yeah, they don't growed up now,
there's some
honey.
C-suite people in there
Yes, got
for
you.
Disney,
Yeah. Okay.
but
But yeah, continue.
so um I'm gonna go back to Senegal first, but
Okay. Yeah.
so sh- she said, when their counterparts that are white
Mm-hmm.
talk about their summer, our kids need to have something to talk about too when they go on to college. So this is
Right.
all in her preparation. So all in her preparation for students going to college. Like what experiences, what are some things that are experiences that they've
Yeah.
had. So
Yeah.
so the first year was at the middle college, and we went with a professor. I think the president of Olive Harvey, Mr. Franklin, had gone with him. I cannot remember this man's name because I
I
just
know
don't.
that's okay. That's one of our
Okay,
students, baby.
that's but that's Savito. I know who that is.
Okay.
I can't remember the guy's name that took us,
Okay.
but we went the first time with them. While we were on
Mhm.
the trip, it was my sister, myself, and I think my brother was on the trip. Like we were on the trip. We were like, oh, we could do this ourselves.
Okay.
So it's not that on the trip. We made our connections. It was a fantastic trip. The first year we went with a guide.
Mhm.
After that, we took kids to Senegal over and over and over and over. Never with a guide.
Yes.
Made their own connections.
Yep.
And even we just took a family trip to Senegal a few years back, and by this time, there's Mandel. Oh, no, stop. Let me tell you why she's showing this, y'all. That's me with the turtleneck on, the sleeveless turtleneck in West Africa.
We love it,
Fashionista.
but go ahead.
Fashionista, I am not. But so when Asada and I worked together at Benjamin E. Mays High
Mhm.
School, which was an alternative high school, we wanted to take some students too, right? So we wanted to take students. You do not need a lot of money to travel. Like that is what the big thing is. So if you take all that and I know we're inundated with it now, but this is
Yeah.
pre-social media. But
Yeah.
still, like, the whole fear, the this or that. But then now you have all the glamour and all of the shots. Those things can scare people from traveling too because they don't feel like they have it. Like sometimes I don't feel like
Mhm.
coordinating all those outfits for the photo shoot. So I've just sort of taken a break from posting everything on Instagram. I'm not traveling to Instagram shots all the time.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but Asada, we raised some money, didn't we?
Did we raise
We
money?
we
Did
raised
we?
money. This is like you are my favorite. Let me tell you something. I work well, and I'm not a big zodiac person, but I work well with. You're an Aquarius,
You know it.
and not Libras. Oh God, not Libras. Aquarius and Virgos
I love them.
are
Yeah.
my sister's a Sagittarius. She and I like those three signs, but really, I don't know that many Sagittarius.
It's all good.
These
Yeah.
are the people that I work well with, where I can just come up with creative ideas, and they're really good at helping me sit myself down and execute
Yes.
or have that strength. Right? Maybe that's not my strength, but I have the curate. We raised so much money in a quick amount of time. How fast?
Nachos. We sold nachos. We sold what you said. We said last night. You said we sold
I was
fried
like,
chicken.
we sold fried chicken from. I got Kentucky Fried Chicken to give us chicken boxes on Wednesday. I would go pick them up, sell them in the building.
Baby.
And, and they did it as a donation, like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so we raised the money. We took students from Benjamin E. Mays. The the life-changing experience is so worth it, especially for young men.
Yep.
It's so worth it for the and you know, I'm saying this now because the world has actually gotten smaller because of social media and the internet and the way. But this is prior. Look at Miss K, a queen always. The Wolof words I know still are from you. Summa jigging, summa wreck.
Somebody jigging. Look, we got some. Look, we got some comments. Hold on, some comments. We got
Oh,
somebody
it's
says
coming.
greetings from the Gambia. What's
Oh,
up?
we went to the Gambia.
Yes, we did. And
We
it
went
says
to the
hi.
Gambia.
It says hi to everyone. Alfusa. I don't want to get out. It's it's one word, but Alfusa. It says Dramane. We'll get it later. But yep, they say what's up to everyone from the
What's
Gambia.
up, Nangadef?
The
Yeah.
Nagadak,
Manafrect.
you know, that's right. I
Yeah.
just worked with a brother last night from Gambia to rock with me in crypto. So I was able to flex my wall off. We got another comment here. Let me just bring this up here.
Oh,
Oh, this
okay.
is
Let me put on my
Elvis
glasses. I
it
gotta
said
read.
fear will prevent you from traveling and living your best life. I went to South Africa in 1996 alone because my sister chickened out last minute. Had the experience of a lifetime. Everyone needs to visit other countries. It's life changing.
I
Excellent.
am of. I believe that you have to do some things on your own.
Absolutely.
I traveled around the world,
Hmm.
like circumventing the globe in like 1990 something. This is,
Okay.
like I said, I didn't even have an email at the time. Like
Yes.
it was a dawn. I was traveling with traveler's checks.
Yes. See,
Like,
look at that.
you
Look at
know,
that with
like
the pouch.
that's
With the
like the
pouch. Remember the
with the
pouch you
pouch,
wore
right?
with your
I
money.
had all of that, and I had a backpack, and that picture you put up of my sister and me sitting in the middle,
Yeah.
it was there. Like I took them around Europe. They had to go back to school. I went to visit friends in England,
Hmm.
who people who I had met traveling when I went to Greece
Okay.
has sent them. So like once you are, especially when you're young, especially you
Hmm.
you kind of create a travel network. Like
Hmm.
travelers understand travelers. Travelers
Yeah.
understand you need some place to stay.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you want an authentic experience. You're not in the main downtown. You really want more of an authentic experience.
Hmm.
Um, I'm traveling now, and I'm not always having that because I'm there for a good time, not a long time. But I try to really, get through places.
Yeah.
And so I just think, you have to do some of those things. I think the other place we took students to Senegal a number of years. The other
You know we
place
got to
I
show some more Senegal. Wait a minute. Look at this
get the
name,
Senegal
Julie.
pictures up.
Juju, look at this name here, the one that says "Greeting from Gambia."
Yes.
Put
Okay.
glasses on
You
so
gonna
you
ask me to
can
read
see
the
who that
name?
is. That's right. Look at that. Who that? You know that beautiful person saying greetings from Gambia?
No, I do not. But let me
Okay, well
see.
it's okay. I don't know if they're your friend or my friend, but I know they watching. Mwah. Like Wolof, Nangadef. There you go, baby. Now I want to show a few more of these images because you guys, when she talk about the time of a lifetime, like with these kids, first of all, look at all of us here.
That's the
Boopity
front
bop.
of the presidential palace. I'm
That's
pretty
right.
sure.
Look at me in the front, y'all. That's the first outfit I
That's
ever
you.
made. Thank you very much. And then y'all want to see me dancing and dance. Watch this.
Yes.
This
Go.
is in the kunun. Watch this.
You
Dance
know, you know,
kunun.
Asada can dance, and
Girl.
she knows no stranger. So this was her element. That's her.
That's
Go
right.
ahead, Asada.
That's right. That's right. So we did, I think. And then I think it's important to just show us for real, with the kids. I love this image right here of look at us at the university. Y'all.
Oh
At the
yeah.
university. This was at Chicken to Diop University in
Che.
Senegal.
Mm-hmm.
Che, say it right.
Mm-hmm.
Say it
Che
right.
Ante
Uh-huh.
Diop.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Jope. Jope
University.
is really how you say it
That's right. In
in
Wolof. Go
Senegal
ahead
in
and get it
Wolof.
right, baby. And you see me with my little Mo shoe shirt on. Boopity boop boop. That's American,
Okay.
little Nigerian flavor. But then also,
Okay.
look, y'all, wait. We was in the clubs, honey. Look at that. Look at Julie dancing in the clubs, honey. I'm in the
Those are
back.
my those are my lights. Now, if you want to know, that is when I went natural. So they braided my
Okay.
hair in those lights,
Okay.
and I left those. I don't know. um, I think that's when I went natural. But I
Okay.
left those braids in till the perm grew out because that hair
Okay.
is all dead, and then I went natural. So
I see.
that's what motivated me to go natural. But
Look, we got
because
more
first of all,
comments.
nobody wanted to unbraid that hair. Hi, Julie. Who
Good.
is
Now this
this?
is the person from Gambia. Look, whoever you are from Gambia, spell out your name, baby, so we know exactly who you are. And then it says, always keen to follow this program.
Oh,
Thank you
okay.
so much. Thank you so much. And then we got another comment. Look at this. They come in, and Naima Latif said, the internet and social media has connected the entire world. Traveling by airplane makes every country just a few hours away. There's no excuse for being afraid to leave a country and see the world for sure. Now let me ask you. It says, "Have this question says, have you people visited Gambia?" Yes.
Yes.
Or
Mhm.
the smiling coast of West Africa? Oh yeah, baby. I'm
Yes.
gonna show you pictures in a minute. And it says, "Julie, you're looking smart on those photos."
And young. Because
And
that was like 30, 40 years ago. I
yes.
don't know.
Now let me show y'all for real, for real. We did go and we had fun. I showed you us in the clubs, but for real, we took the kids to the slave mansions, baby. Don't you
Mhm.
play with me. We took those young people to Goree Island where they got to experience where our people were
Yeah.
taken from uh
Hmm.
and
The
out
door with no return.
door of no
Yeah.
return. And that sister you see in the middle, boy, she just started singing, y'all. Talk about, I'm free. Praise the Lord. I'm free. I'm no longer
Hmm.
bound. Ain't no
Hmm.
chains holding me. And I think that was just so, so powerful. But,
Yeah.
we had so many more. Look at you giving lectures on the bus.
I
This one is
know.
giving lectures on the bus, y'all. I love it. But, so talk about um, why the many trips to Senegal? Because um, I remember, and I'm gonna just tell y'all, I remember Julie saying to me, "We want the kids to have a classroom without walls
The
approach,
classroom without
without
walls.
walls approach to
That's
learning,
yep.
right? Teaching." And
Yeah.
then Senegal, I know, was the closest point to America in terms of time. It was 7 hours.
Yeah.
But why the
You
continued?
know that Senegal, Dakar, is
Yeah,
that tip on the
yeah,
continent.
yeah.
And I mean, obviously, a lot of your viewers are West African, so they already know that.
Okay,
And then the
right.
Gambia is that enclave country
Mhm.
that is like inside of Senegal, but
Okay. Yep.
it at one time had been colonized by the English. Senegal had been colonized by the French, and Dakar was the capital of French West Africa.
Yeah.
But geographically, there's no place in Europe closer to the United States than Senegal. Like
Got you.
so everybody thinks, oh, it's so far, it's so far. Well, Africa is the largest
Yeah.
continent, and
Yeah.
there's yeah, some places are so far, but
Mhm.
Senegal ain't one of them. West Africa is
Yeah.
not that far, so it's closer there. And that was a family trip we took. So we took my dad, um, my mom, she was still alive, but my dad and his sisters, and we did a trip. My sister-in-law, my brother actually had married a Senegalese woman. My niece actually went to preschool in Senegal.
Mhm.
We're a little free thinking over here. And then
Yeah.
two of my nieces live there. Jaleesa, who just graduated from law school, is Senegalese American, and she
Mhm.
spent some of her years of school in Senegal. But so did some of my other nieces staying with her. So Senegal has become my unofficial home. And I don't know, like I know everybody talks about Dedi December and Ghana, which I love Ghana. I've taken students to Ghana too, but
Mhm.
I don't think it's much better than Dakar. Like I just think Dakar is like one of my favorite places. I have not traveled enough of the continent that I like, but I'm like kind of a repeater. So I like get fixated and then I want to see other parts. So instead of just going to Dakar, I've been to St. Louis, I've been to Casamas, I've been to some other places around the continent to try to around the country to try to expand. I do
Sure.
that when I sort of start liking a place and I don't have a long time to travel. I try to position myself different places. Like I've always loved Greece. I don't go to Greece as much as I used to, but when I go, I always go someplace different and
Mm,
someplace familiar.
mm,
So like I might, if we're all going as a group, I might go a little early. And I was like, oh, I always wanted to go to Corfu. I'll go to Corfu, you know.
mhm,
And then from there, I was like, I kind of really want to go to Albania. You know, like I'll have these places that I'm sort of wondering about. Maybe it's not on everybody else's list. Maybe they're still stuck on
mhm.
Mykonos. I can't go to Mykonos, not another
Okay.
again. You know, like, so I try
Yeah.
to do that. The other thing I try to do with students is show them it doesn't have to be expensive.
Mm,
So I used to work at a middle school, and two of my favorite trips that I did, there were other trips like we did this week where you did the School Without Walls, right?
yeah,
So some
yeah.
of the students went to Guadalajara, you know,
Mhm,
some students, we've taken students to, you know, we did a trip to the Underground Railroad up to Canada,
yeah.
you know, and then just the communities and the neighborhoods. And these are students from the South Side, maybe,
Yes.
you know, the school was like in back of the yards, Inglewood area. So it's not like kids were coming from means or nor do I have all these means, but some of the things that you do is you can teach them how to travel. So when we took kids to Costa Rica,
Mhm.
this is one of the things we did. We only booked one night hotel.
Okay.
So we booked the first night hotel. Every decision was decided collectively.
Okay.
So, first night hotel, I think we decided, okay, we knew we wanted to go like to where the volcanoes are and the zip line.
Mhm.
How are we going to get there? Are
Yeah.
we hiring a bus? Are we doing public transportation? You know, or are we hiring a bus? Or are we getting on like their bus? You know, this is like a so
Yeah,
many
yeah, yeah.
hour trip.
Yeah.
So the kids decided then in the back, we would exchange some money. So, like,
Okay.
one of the teachers, or I think it was Brandon actually, he was in college at the time. He was majoring in finance. We still not so sure if his math was that
I
good, but
can't, I can't, I can't, I can't, I
but he
can't.
was like, he would help exchange money. So that was the whole concept of, you know, what's your quick math? What's your mental math? And these are sixth,
Okay.
seventh, and eighth graders and a
Yeah.
few high school. But what's your quick math to get this together? You know,
Nice.
okay, are we cooking or are we going out? Okay, so
Gotcha.
then we got to one place after we did that. You know, we all went zip line and blah blah blah, and then we went to. I really wanted to. I had gone to Costa Rica with friends and wanted to stay at this hammock hotel, and they
Okay.
refused. So I was like, "Oh, I'll just bring students back here because they got to do what I say." So
Ah,
we get to the hammock hotel. This is on the Caribbean coast. So then what we learn is that Costa Rica has a whole black community that came like
mhm.
from Jamaica and helped with the
Yeah.
coffee thing, and that this is a country that doesn't have a military, and that
Mm.
they banish the actually the Jamaicans end up being at some point in time like the economic powerhouses because of the
Okay.
coffee, and then they eradicated racism. Like you,
So look at all the history, like
we learned all this
history,
stuff that
geography, all that. Right. Let me read this comment real quick. Check this out, Mom. It says, Naima Latif says, other teachers need to follow your example. It says, teach history and geography by taking students to places to see for themselves.
right.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
And that
Let me say
living
this.
history is so important that when you're sitting down talking with people, that
Mm-hmm.
when I saw this on social media. They talked about Martha's Vineyard being a living museum for
Okay.
African Americans. Like, you know, not so much all the parties, but like what it stands for. This was the first place Black people could buy home. You know, so like, and I'm not some Martha's Vineyard goer. I've been
Mm-hmm.
like one time for 2 days, but
Okay.
but what I'm saying that to say that traveling gives you that.
Yes, it
Like
does.
when we took those students to Senegal, we met with students that were Senegalese, that were right in college, and these students
Yeah.
were just about to go into college, and like, so yeah, it gives you that, like, you learn that on the spot. So yeah, I just think that
Hold that
was
thought because I want to say something about that and how it impacted our students. But we got to take a quick commercial break. We're going to talk about your Guatemala mug when we come back too. But anyway, when we come back, guys, we have so many more things to say about these experiences that Julie Stanton has done, how we've done them together, what we learned, what we observed. But y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after these
woo
messages.
woo.
Great day. It's your girl Asada here to introduce a new female solution show called ASADAH Says. That's right. Every month we're going to talk about everything I am, from cryptocurrency and financial security to good health and parenting strategies. Come on and talk with me every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And let's do that thing the way ASADAH says it should be done. See you then. Peace right here on the Female Solution.
What if you could have bought $1 of Bitcoin in 2009 when it was worth less than $0.01, just a fraction of a penny? That means $1 could have bought you over 1,000 Bitcoin. Fast forward to March 2026. With Bitcoin trading around $70,000 to $80,000, that same $1 could have grown to tens of millions. Now imagine discovering Amazon in 1997, Apple in 1980, or Facebook in 2004, right at the beginning, before the world caught on. History shows us those who recognize change early and take time to understand it are often the ones best positioned for the future. What if the next big shift is already happening right now, and most people still don't see it? Welcome to Breaking Free. Breaking Free is more than a book. It's a movement. Do you know money is changing? Do you know what digital money is? What crypto is? For just $5.99, you receive the Breaking Free ebook and audiobook. And right now, Breaking Free also gifts you crypto for free, giving you access to unlock the app, training, a reward payment system, and more. Inside members receive access to learning resources like AI, crypto, wellness, and practical tools to help you learn, grow, and move forward with confidence. Help educate, motivate, and elevate others while earning crypto rewards. No middleman, no delayed payments, no centralized control, just automated crypto rewards. Just by helping 2 people break free with us, our community grows and more opportunities can open for everyone. If you're ready to learn, and if you want to understand where money is heading, Breaking Free could be exactly what you've been looking for. Speak to the person who sent you this video and book a presentation to learn more. We'll see you on the other side of Breaking Free.
All right, y'all know up front, I don't play no games. So they call me the Harriet Tubman of crypto. All right. I just got to make sure we know, talk about global and global money. Got to do it. So if you want to know more, look at the number at the bottom. I'll hook you up. But got to get back to my girl, Julie Stanton. Why? Because we've had so many good journeys, just as educators, just as for real, taking kids out the country. And when we left, we were talking about that. I wanted to just say this part about the impact on our students. One thing I really remember, quite a few things, but I remember we worked at an alternative high school. So that means, guys, that people were coming back to get the high school diploma that had dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
So when they went to Africa, baby, they were like, Miss K, we over here leaving school and dropping out of school, and these students are fighting for school. And it really made a shift in them looking at the level of the value of education by their peers.
Yep.
And I thought that was so strong.
That was really strong. I think the motivation, especially for young men, like if you could, all young men should go to West Africa, like from whence we came, so that was just so motivating. Like pull up your
Yeah.
pay, like peer to peer, they were giving them telling them what they
That's
should
right.
do and what they should be happy about, and you could just see them elevating,
Right.
like
Right.
themselves.
And
And I also thought, go ahead, you finish
no,
your
I was
thought.
gonna say I'm just looking at some of the images, and I'm gonna show this again because one of our favorite students, Mandel, is in the middle. He's here in Chicago. He's a photographer, but like for real, our kids had a wonderful
Yeah,
time
yeah,
just
it
learning a
was, it
tremendous
was.
amount of things. And
And just like that trip that I took to France as a sixth grader, the preparation for this was also done. Like understanding the social norms and what, like there were classes that we sort of constructed with the students. It wasn't just a let's get on a plane, go on a trip.
right,
That
right,
it took some preparation and not
yes,
just the mosquitoes and it was really about the culture and the relevance of why that place was picked. And I don't know if you remember them talking about how the infrastructure was ruined by the colonizers, that they
mm,
put the sewage over the pipe and the plumbage and was
wow,
ruining the water and things like that. So,
mhm,
but we went to the Pink Lake. We did all these great things, and
yes.
obviously we went to Goree Island. But then the kids got to play basketball on Goree Island and things like that. Then there was
Can I
this
tell you
whole
my favorite moment, y'all? For real,
yes,
real quick. So we are in the back of the hotel one day, and but when you're American and you got all them Americans with you, people following you because y'all got money, right? Whatever.
Mhm.
So we in the back of the hotel, y'all, and the drummers are getting it, and our students are freestyling to the drumming, right? So they like, yeah, do da da da, whatever, freestyling, right? So it's getting late, like almost midnight, y'all. And I say to the kids, okay, we gotta end this. It's late because it's echoing. It's the pool, it's the hotel, and the kids said to me, Miss K, we in Africa. We ain't gotta do nothing, Miss K. We ain't gotta show. I was like, oh, and then the drummers got louder. And you know what? Nobody ever came out to complain. Nobody ever said it was too late. And it made me see how we are really in a police state in
We
America,
are.
and how that's different when you're in Africa. So it just so much. I'm gonna show some other pictures too. But go ahead and talk, girl. I know somebody in the background. Tell them if
Mm.
they want to be on TV, come on over here and stop playing and
Mm.
get on TV.
What you say?
Let me
Hold
just
on a
show some
minute.
pictures. Go ahead while she's doing that. I'm gonna show you
Okay,
some
show a couple of pictures. Wait,
right. Look at well, first of all, I gotta show y'all this dude. This dude right
they
here,
got a trunk.
baby. When I saw that
Think
brother,
about getting some for
y'all,
Denitra if
I
they
said
use it.
he
So.
the most gorgeous ever in life. Definitely rocking on that. Let me
Mm.
mute Julie till she ready. Loving this brother. I was like, oh my God, he's so crystal gorgeous. So loving, I was like, we gotta take a picture. The word for handsome, y'all, in Wolof is Rafet. And I definitely called him Rafet with an ease. And then let me see what else we got here. I just love. Look, I got to show Look, Julie in her element. The kids in the background, and she just doing her thing. We love that. And we're trying to see. Like we have so many now. When she comes back, this is Senegal, but this is not us. Julie, I'm gonna take you off mute now. Go ahead and talk a little bit about this.
Okay. Okay, so this is a recent trip. You see my cousin Sean. So we have what we call cousins trips. And so these are some of that's Grace up front. That's Jalene's daughter who's
Okay.
going to college now. And she's in college now. And she's her second year will be in a school in Hong Kong. She's in
Wow.
this program that she goes to a different university every year.
Okay.
Hi, Pep. So and then that's Jolene. That's me with the hair, the fro
Uh-huh.
hair.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yep.
my
Yep.
and the two men in the back are my cousins, one from my father's side, one from my mother's side, because a cousin
Wow.
is a cousin of a cousin. That's what we call that. His
Okay.
wife is just in front of him. She's a chemistry professor at Spelman College.
Okay.
Then this is my cousin Denitra with the beautiful head wrap. You've
Uh-huh.
seen her in a lot of different other pictures. And then
Okay.
my sister Jeline. So that's at a home we rented in Senegal. And so now we have this whole extended family because my sister-in-law who lives here, she, hooked us up with some of her friends. Actually, my niece had just been living in Senegal, so she sort of gave us kind of the bougie itinerary.
Yeah.
We did like the car rap, not the car rap beat, the rally. There's this famous car race that goes through Dakar
Okay.
and it and the sand dunes, and we did part of that. This is what I want to say about Dakar though, and Senegal,
Mm.
and going traveling to West Africa for
Yeah.
us. It is the reason why we need to all go as
Mhm.
African Americans. One, people come up to you and tell you what you look like,
Oh,
oh, you're Fulani, you're this, you're
yeah.
Wolof, you're
Yeah.
that, so they
Yeah.
help you with your kinship group.
Yeah.
And two, you see people that look like Uncle Lil Buddy, Uncle,
Yeah.
you see people that
Yeah.
look like them too. And
Yeah.
so it is the like it is the connection of like, oh, they're looking at you to see if you look like someone, even though
Yeah.
these were years ago, right? But it's just a concept, someone who was taken, and you're looking at them like, is this someone that I
Yeah.
belong to?
Yeah.
So like even if it's, and I haven't done, because I'm scared to do any of the, where you come from, because I don't want nobody in trouble in my life, so I'm not
He's
doing
so
it.
silly.
But
He's
but it comes from that. The other thing is, and I don't know if you remember this, there was one point I felt like I was on 79th and Stony Island. That hustle spirit. I said, oh, Dakar's a hustler spirit. Like, Chicago's a hustler. New York
yeah.
is like that, like where
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure they invented the Capri Sun, where
Hey.
they pour the thing in the plastic, put the straw in, and you on your way on the bus. They are
Ah,
selling everything on the expressway. This is back when we were there. When I went
yes.
recently, there was not all the sales on. They have these new paved roads, but when I was there, like you can get all your snacks,
That's
your
right.
this, the
That's right.
chair, the table. Um, and so you see yourself. You
Yeah.
see yourself. You see who we are as a people. Oh, we are hustlers too. Like we
Yes.
selling the fruit on in the intersection.
Marketplace,
Like
baby.
that was like I thought my favorite thing, because you really saw yourself. You saw, oh, this is where this comes from. This is,
Okay.
we're a lot alike,
Yeah.
and our the U.S. has done a great job of making us be scared to go
That's
anywhere, and
important.
especially the continent. I'm
That's
trying to
right.
get to Rwanda. I'm trying to get to all these places. I've
Yeah.
been talking about it for like 5 years. I'm the person
And
in
I
the
heard
family.
Rwanda gorgeous. I heard
Oh, it's
Rwanda is
right.
gorgeous.
Uh-huh. I
Like
want to
for
go.
real,
And
for real.
I was like, now if everybody, if our European counterparts are going, we should be going. Like, why are we not
You did
going?
it with
So
right. How they going on vacation and then
yeah.
we stay
So
back? And but let me say this because this is important. First of all, we got a comment down here from our friend from Gambia, saying traveling is a good experience because you meet different people, different cultures, etc. And then he did write out his name then. Alfosani, I think his name, Alfosani Mohammed.
okay.
Thank you. Then we might have some others that oh, he also said you're always invited to come and visit Kunta Kinte's island. Ah,
I've been there, right? You remember when we went to Jufre?
exactly.
And
Yeah, no doubt.
yes, thank you. That's
Thank you.
for African Americans of a certain age, we all are related to Kunta Kinte.
You already
I
know.
don't know. I don't know if the younger. I don't even know if the younger children have
If
even
they even
seen
know.
Roots,
You gotta I
but
made my daughter sit down and watch it. But let me say this about why what Julie is saying is so important. It's because in America, when we are coming up, we are taught to not like Africa, and we have a big stigma on it. And our students, before going to Africa, were told by their counterparts, their peers,
mm-hmm.
when you going to Africa, they're gonna eat you, they don't wash and all this other stuff. And our kids weren't squeamish about it, but I'm gonna tell you something. When they came back from Africa and them kids was talking that talk, baby, our students ate them up. And I
Yeah.
mean, we watched their grades go up.
Yeah.
They were able to say, "You don't know what you're talking about. Africa is paradise." Like I remember them saying when we got off the
It
plane,
is paradise.
they were like, "Miss K, how come nobody told us this was paradise?" And I think that's important to take students so
Yeah.
they can see for themselves. We even had some of our little gang look. He said, "Miss K, I'm going to get the boilers, and I'm gonna get our passports, and we're gonna come to Africa." I said, "Go
Yeah. And you can go start like we can
start a
start over.
movement.
We
Come
can
out." That's
we
right.
don't
Let's
have to
do
live
it.
like this. Like
That's
I
right.
still desire to live in West Africa. I know, I
Hmm.
really I really, really do. My sister-in-law, she was trying to move back for a little while, and I went to visit her. She had since been remarried. The trip that I went with my dad and our whole extended family. But I said, "Oh, I know you want to live here." She said, "You just don't know." Like it just is. It's really. I
But
think that continent is important. But I would
listen,
like. It's other places I wouldn't mind living
yeah.
too, but I just or that I enjoy placing. I think the thing that I like about traveling is I like to position myself and just be in existence. I'm not so much
Mm,
like I like different places for different reasons. Like I
yeah.
love. Okay, so I'm really into coffee.
Okay.
Now,
Show
Asada
us
lives
your
a
mug.
clean
Show us
lifestyle.
your
I did
mug.
not. Okay, so this is not an advertisement for Starbucks because I don't drink Starbucks coffee at all. But when I travel, if there is a Starbucks, that's in Ukraine. If
Mhm.
there's, my nephew was in the Peace Corps, so it's also you're creating other generational. Your generations beyond. My nephew's a really great traveler too, but
Mhm.
I try to pick up a mug from there of a place I've been, but I'm in the coffee, so Guatemala is one of my coffee sources. I
Okay.
get coffee in Mexico, Colombia. I actually really love Hawaiian coffee. I ain't gonna tell you how I flew
I
there.
know, but isn't this Hawaii right here?
That is Turks and Caicos.
Oh, Turks and Caicos. Got
We
you. Got you.
spent
Got you.
Christmas there one year. So after like sometimes now we travel as a family different places. That's Hawaii.
Okay, this is Hawaii.
Yeah,
I
that's
want to
Hawaii.
say something about you and your family. First, I want to show this because look, y'all, we was loving on each other in Senegal. We was loving on each other in Senegal. My hair was mad short. It's all good. But
And
this
my
is one
arms are
thing.
mad small. I
I
can't
know,
wait. It's
right?
like I want to go back. Take me back.
But this is something I want to point out. You guys, and maybe you can tell me the why. And I can't believe we only got like 5 minutes more. But
Oh God. I
you
wanted to
guys,
tell you something about crypto too.
oh, we'll get on that, and that's
Okay.
another call. But
It's,
anyway,
it's a travel crypto story.
okay, good. So,
Okay.
but real quick, y'all, I want you to see how they are all from the South Side of Chicago, but for some reason were very comfortable in Africa. Like it wasn't like a Africa type of thing. And I'm like, why do you think you all not only gravitated so comfortably into Africa, but like you said, your brother married somebody from Africa, your nieces grew up partially in Africa. Like what?
I
How did
think,
that happen?
yeah, I think, and it's like you have to be comfortable wherever you are. So, like, I think one of the things about me is no matter where I go, I can figure out how it can be home. It's very,
Mm,
there's some places I've been that I just did not like. I didn't feel at home or say because I'm not so much traveling in a 5 star, so
yeah.
it has to be certain levels of comfortability. So I think it's just placing yourself in situations. I tell the story about Jolene. Her and her friends started taking their kids to day camp in Mexico City
Okay.
before Mexico City blew up. It was a
Mhm.
UNAM, which is like the famous university.
Okay.
Their day camp, and then they would just rent a house and take turns a couple at a time coming in while their kids were there in this month. It was more affordable. They were staying, so like you can place yourself in the globe places, and if you do it as a traveler and not a vacationer, you'll find yourself more comfortable.
Mm,
So I don't like staying behind a gate.
okay.
That's what I don't like. So like we went to Egypt, and it was right after the Arab Spring. It was so cheap. We stayed in this well, I've stayed in some more fancy hotels since then when traveling with people who have to stay in fancy hotels.
Mm,
But I was like, I got to get from behind the gate. Like, I don't want to be the person that's scared to be behind the gate.
yeah. Yeah.
I went somewhere with my best friend Sydney, who monitors my every move.
Mhm.
But I was like, are we gonna ever get behind this gate? Like I'm all for the swim up, but I got to get from behind the gate. So I just think you have to get from behind the gate, and that
Mm,
is sometimes a problem. You have to be careful with your children how you travel with them if they're only staying in resorts, if they're
okay.
only experiencing the weather. If you're talking about that the weather was crap, you that's not why you go to some.
I,
Nobody's
I,
guaranteeing you
I
some
should.
good weather, right? You're supposed to have experiences
Right.
whether it's raining or not, so and
Yeah.
that's sort of a resort, and it's okay to be at a resort and
That's a
do all
great
of that.
point. That's a great
But
point.
you have to, that's why if your children will never feel comfortable. And that's the thing for like you going to college, like being uncomfortable, making friends, having people to talk to. You got to get from behind the gate,
Nice.
so you can
Nice.
resort all you want, but get the kids from behind the gate, do something that's cultural. And, I'm an Airbnb personally. We've
Mm-hmm.
been staying in some hotels sometimes. I like when we someplace a quick, we want to be somewhere close, or sometimes I tell people if you're uncomfortable traveling, that's in Milan. My best friend Sydney worked for a company, and I would come if her husband couldn't come. I would fly out. I had a year of oh, that's in Greece. That's
Mm-hmm.
recent. Well, not so recent. I had a broke foot, by the way, and I had been laid off. I had been laid off. So you take unemployment and put a F in front of it. Fun,
No, I can't. Fun. That's so
fun.
funny. Now look, look, look. We only got one more minute,
All
girl.
right, all
I
right.
need you
This
to
is so
just.
much fun.
I know I could have you on for days and days,
Aw.
and but this is how we work, y'all. Like for real, for real. And I love it because, like she said, I create. You said that in the
Yeah.
beginning, just that create.
Mm-hmm.
So take this
Mm-hmm.
last minute, Mama, and
Oh God, I gotta sum up in a minute.
no, you actually don't have to sum up because you said some things closing just now,
Okay.
really. Because
Mm-hmm.
to me, your closing message was get your kids from behind the gate,
Please, Lord
you know.
Jesus. Yeah.
And if you're traveling somewhere for the weather, then you're not traveling. So I think those were just
Yeah. Yeah.
those.
I just want to make sure, and there's different ways to experience places. I do I try to do some Airbnb experiences where
Mm-hmm,
like I went and painted a egg at this woman's house in
mm-hmm,
Ukraine, and
mm-hmm.
she was telling us about the Russians taking over.
Wow.
Like this
Okay.
woman
Yeah.
was this famous art and seemingly was living in what might have been like subsidized housing now,
Okay.
but like you gotta do some other things. Cooking classes are a great way to experience cultures,
Nice.
that aren't so cute. Like, so if you are if you're behind the gate, this is a way of you going to do something different. Most of the time, you're not going to be snatched.
Yeah.
Like, stop with
Stop with that. Ain't nobody coming to
stop
get
with
your
that.
meat or
Nobody's
something.
coming to
Ain't
get.
nobody carrying your butt.
I,
That's
I
right.
told my cousin who's 61, I said, nobody is putting 60-year-olds in a sex trade. You're safe.
They would look. We gotta start. Look,
All
the
right.
show about to close. But yo,
I
I
know.
love you so
Oh,
much,
this is
girl.
so great.
Thank you so much for being here. You guys watching, enjoy, watch again, listen to the
This is so
lesson. It's
fun.
the best, honey. So we're gonna keep it up. And I thank y'all for watching because what we doing it next week? I'm not too sure. We got a good couple coming some more Black travelers. But for today, we gotta end. Love y'all for being here. Peace. And thank
Peace.
you, Julie, for your excellence in traveling and more. Okay. Bye, guys.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.